If you're not familiar with how scientific notation can represent very large and very small numbers, then I recommend you watch one of these videos first. The in-depth version also includes most of this video. In this video, we explore how to enter numbers in scientific notation form into a calculator and how the calculator can change to and from scientific notation for some numbers. On most modern calculators, like this Casio model, the required key for entering values in scientific notation is quite obvious, as we see here. And the display, especially in the final result, is also clearly in scientific notation form, as seen here on this calculator screen. This isn't always the case, especially on older models like this one. Firstly, the button for entering such values is not obvious. It's this button here. The EXP stands for exponent or exponential form, reminding the user to write the decimal part and the exponent part, the power of 10, separately, separated by tapping the EXP button in between. Notice this small 18. It looks like it could mean the number is raised to the power of 18. This display actually means 3.84951 multiplied by 10 to the power of 18. I won't show any more on these older models. Be sure to refer to your user manual if yours is similar to this one. Let's start by entering 3.15 times 10 to the power of 7, assuming you have a similar calculator to this Casio. Be aware some current models might still label the key as EXP despite it displaying the entire notation. There are two ways to enter this value, with or without that special button. Type 3.15, then press the times 10 to the power of X key. The calculator is now waiting for the power of 10, so simply type 7. That's it. Alternatively, you can type exactly what you see. 3.15, then the multiplication key, followed by 10, then press the power key, and finally type in the power. Using either method, then pressing equals, will usually convert the answer to decimal form, if it can fit on the calculator's display. Otherwise, it leaves it in scientific notation. If I change the power to 17 instead of 10, we see that it no longer converts to decimal form, since the required number of digits will not fit on the calculator screen. An important point, be careful not to use both methods at once, or you'll end up with an extra power of 10. On calculators like the Casio though, it's very obvious as we see here. However, it is a real problem on calculators with the EXP button, as students often type times 10 followed by the EXP, which gives them an extra power of 10. Now let's go back and make the power a -7, using the sign change key here. Your calculator might have a plus/minus key instead. You might get scientific notation like this, or a fraction, or a decimal. It is often possible to choose the default display. Check your calculator manual. In a Casio, press Shift, then Setup, then 8. We are then given two options for our normal display. Type 1 will give small decimals in scientific notation form, as seen here. Type 2 gives either the fraction or decimal, which we can then alternate between using the SD key. I recommend type 2 for most students. And last of all, we look at a special mode that changes all your answers into scientific notation. This can be useful if you want to keep everything in standard form. You go to Shift, Setup, or equivalent on your calculator. Can you see anything that might suggest scientific notation? So we press 7. Now it's asking you how many significant figures you wish included. If you haven't yet studied significant figures, don't worry. It simply decides how many digits to keep out the front. It's probably best to select 9 because you can easily discard extra zeros if you wish to do so. However, If you select 3, for example, then all answers will be rounded to only have 3 digits out the front, and you could lose some detail or precision depending on the calculations. Take care when using this mode because you might inadvertently give a rounded answer. When you have finished, remember to go back and reset your calculator to normal type 2.